settings. In settings, we have what to call the company, we have the branch, you have the users. So this is about user system. Then we have what called the permissions. Where do the permission settings from. For the branch, you can say you may be having different branches, but you can set here all the different branches from here, and then the company. So basically, in the company, this way you can add your company information from here, okay, if you have it. And then, for example, me have already added this one, Microsoft. You can do the editing from here. Also, if you don't have, if you are not yet set up, you can add it simply by clicking here and putting these details as they are required, and then add your company. You add your company to the system, okay. Then you can do the editing and delete plus the view over here, and then you have what we call the branches. The branches, if you have multiple branches, you can do the setup from here. And then this branch is just substitute. For example, you have this many branch. If you have one branch, you can use this one. But if you have many, you can set them from here. And then when you have a user, which is the next step here, you attach a user to that particular branch so that that user belongs to a particular branch when using the system. Okay. And then you have what we call the users. Here is where you add the users from here. You can add a user. For example, you can add Alex here. The email you can put at gmail.com. Then the role, you set the role either admin or the staff. Suppose that there is a staff, and then you set the branch, and then here you could put here the password for him. Okay, you could type it here again for the confirmation, and then you can add the user from here. I beg your pardon. Here the password is, and then I repeat it here, and then I add the user again. Perfect. So this is created. So after creating the user, is attached to the main branch, and the role is the staff. You can set here, you can change, update it from here, and then also here you can reset the password for him or her from that side. Okay. Then also from there, you have what we call, this takes us to the permission. The permission, if you have a user Alex, and then you want to give him or her permission, you could just come here, like the permission to add any item, to delete, to edit, to print, and even to export. So when you give all this permission to the user, for example, and you save, I'm going to come back here to tenant just for the demonstration. Now, if a user is given the permission to add, you'll be able to add. If given the permission to view, by default, this is the view permission for all users which are being created here. And then there's export permission, there's this print, edit, and even delete. So this permission comes from here, from these settings, which is being assigned to the particular user of the system.